The plan was to quit our jobs, form a company, find a location, build a brewery, make beer, sell it. It's not the way that it ended up. We're mostly doing it backwards. So we're going to take a look at a building for a potential home for our brewery. Super excited about it. It's in Arlington Heights, and I think he might be open to selling it to us. I mean, he certainly isn't doing anything with the building, so. There's another unit too that you can't get to from this side because you're outside. The vision for us was always to build something more than just beer. It was always to build kind of an experience and a piece of the community that people could really latch onto. And you don't get that if you're just selling beer at retail stores and cans on the shelves.
Put on your the right glasses and look at the right lens.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm like,
could be a good space.
I'm feeling the space. Like, being in it is helpful to really kind of get a sense for the scale.
the water is coming into the basement.
Without space, we couldn't bring people together. And that was so important to us. So we started day one looking for real estate.
Nobody's worked harder to get real estate space. I mean it. He'd walk around with 4 packs of beer knocking on doors. Hey, do you want to retire? Can I buy your building?
We just kept going. It had to be zoned right. The space had to be big enough, not only like ceiling height, but floor strength. Can you get the equipment in? Can you get the ingredients in? Can you get the beer out? And then we wanted a space that was large enough so that we could have a tap room. And along with that comes parking and kind of location and got all those second order things that are really important. But none of those matter unless you can actually make the beer there. What amount of effort would be required to kind of
tell you my opinion. You can't fix it.
Okay.
Take it down and put something new.
There's something about it. There's a soul in that building, and the question is there a foundation?
We had weeks of conversations, very difficult conversations, trying to figure out what to do next. Neither of us were taking a salary at that point.
We knew that we wanted to start to have a presence, and so that meant marketing collateral and a website. The logo is a combination of the water tower that's at the top of Park Ave and a conical fermenter. So the bottom of the logo is triangular, and that's the cone of the tank that you ferment beer in. And there's a circle with a cross on it in the middle, and that's the manway in order to get into the tank in order to clean it. We were telling everybody that we were going to open a brewery, and we had the hats, we had the website. People were kind of like starting to spread the word. And I met Joe Conley on Town Day in 2022. I was telling him that I was trying to open a brewery in Arlington, and he got really excited and was asking all sorts of questions. And one of the questions he asked was, would you ever want to do a beer garden here at the Res? And I said, yes. And so he said, all right, well, like, let's figure that out. About a month later, he got back in touch and he was like, yep, we're going to do it. Mark the calendar. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, are we going to do it? We were like, we need to get a license like now.
Licensing authorities do not like to permit residential facilities.
The original word from the regulators was that this was too obscure and too strange.
The investigator and chief investigator said, there's something legally that says you can't do it, but we don't really like it.
We had to scramble, and like we were making beer down here on a much smaller scale than we are doing it right now. We quadrupled our capacity. Had to make the beer. We had to figure out how we were going to sell it out in the middle of the field. Had to figure out how people were going to pay us for it and how much to charge them. We had to figure out how we were going to get the word out. We were going to figure out how we were going to keep everybody safe. There's a lot to do in 7 months.
And we started the business because we believe this community is great and this community deserves great beer. And we're excited to start sharing that beer with our friends and neighbors. And everybody likes hanging out at the res, so we're looking forward to having a good time.
It's very cool to see an Arlington-based company. I love the email address, Tom at Drink Arlington Beer, right up my alley.
As you can tell, this was a really tough sell. All in favor, say aye. 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 Opposed? Congratulations. We look forward to it.
Thank you very much.
We thought maybe 500 people would show up that first day that we sold beer at the res. They had been doing a Friday night concert series for many years. 100, maybe 200 people would show up, and we thought we'd crush it. 500 people are going to show up, put 500 people on the permit. We were very nervous that first day, and we're setting up, wondering if anyone's going to show up. Probably about an hour, hour and a half before we opened, people started streaming in. And I was like, oh, great, like somebody showed up. And then a half an hour before we started selling beer, there was a line into Lexington for the beer. Joe Conley, he was counting the number of people who came in. He said we had more than 3,000 people who showed up that day for beer. So I was like, wow, okay. Like, people are excited for this. And that was really great. It was very fulfilling. I was worried that we were gonna run out of beer, but we didn't, mostly because we couldn't pour it fast enough. It was hot, the beer was foamy. We had never tried to pour that much beer that fast, so we had a lot of learning to do. But people waited in line for an hour for the beer, and the best part was they came back the next week. When we got to the point where we could sell that first beer, and not only did we sell it and someone exchanged their hard-earned money for something that we made, but then they enjoyed it and they came back, that was like a huge like dopamine hit for us. And it's what sustains us now. And it was probably not even a week after we had launched this website, we got our first inbound. It was this guy, and he said, hey, I love everything about this, and I am so excited. I'm from Arlington, and I hate my job right now, and I'm so inspired by the fact that you guys quit your jobs, and I want to be a part of it.